Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to day 28 of 31 days of Horrorween. Today we are talking about Fright Night, which was suggested to me from Macabrella, who is one of my creepy patron peeps, and an awesome creepy patron peep as well. She sent me the awesomest, spookiest, bestest, most generous Halloween care box, Halloween treat box ever. There is an unboxing video for it if you want to check it out. It'll be up here and also in the description if you want to watch that. So thank you for suggesting this, Macabrella, and thank you to all my other creepy patron peeps as well for your support of my channel. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description. Directed by Tom Holland, Fright Night follows Charlie Brewster, who is convinced that his next door neighbor is a vampire. Charlie's friends enlist the help of washed-up actor and horror host Peter Vincent to prove to Charlie that his neighbor is not one of the undead. All right, there are so many cool little bits and pieces and facts and trivia bits for this movie that it would take a whole video, which I fully plan on making sometime in the future. I'll definitely do a dissecting the macabre on this one. So for now, I'll just, instead of telling you any fun facts, I'll just apologize for not having seen this movie sooner. Because this is, well, I mean, anytime I review a movie, it's the first time I've watched it. With the exception, I think, of one or two movie reviews. So I'd seen the remake, but it's been a minute and I didn't really feel like rewatching it. Not because it was bad, I just didn't feel like rewatching it. So I didn't want to do a remake versus original. And I know this is a classic, so I just wanted to give it a full video all to itself. So let's get into what I liked about Fright Night. So obviously we have to talk about the special effects because it's just the best. Apparently it's what a whole lot of the budget was spent on. I loved it. I loved how grotesque and monstrous the vampires looked. I feel like with vampires, out of all of the monsters, I feel like the idea is usually to keep them sexy, and they go through the least transformation usually. In a lot of movies, they don't bother with they don't bother with them transforming into a bat or anything else. It's usually just the teeth and everything else, they look human for the most part except for the teeth and maybe the eyes. So they're usually nothing like werewolves or anything like that where there's a huge transformation scene or anything like that. But I liked how with this movie, their whole face, body, whatever, changes when they're, getting all vamped out, you know what I mean? There's almost levels to their transformation as well. I liked it because sometimes it was just the eyes and the teeth and the hands were slightly changed, and then there were other ones where it's legit the whole mouth and just everything about them is changed. I don't know, it was really cool and I liked it. It was a good balance between sexiness and scariness. So it's they stayed true to vampires having that sex appeal, because I feel that's a thing with vampires. I mean, Chris Sarandon, obviously is gorge, and a huge fan of that sexy dance scene, in the club, beautiful, we stan, I love it. When he transformed, he looked totally different, totally scary, and I loved it. I also liked the inclusion of Evil Ed turning into a werewolf after he's been turned into a vampire. Well, not turning into a werewolf, turning into a wolf after he's been turned into a vampire. There we go, I got it. Just remember that kind of being included in Bram Stoker's novel, the vampire Dracula is a shapeshifter. Not saying that that's where the werewolf legend originated or anything like that, but it was included in the novel. And I feel vampires and werewolves have always been their own separate thing. So I liked that Evil Ed took the form of a wolf as opposed to a bat or anything like that. Nothing wrong with bats, just, you know what I'm saying. Plus we have Billy, who I'm not even really sure what he was supposed to be. I don't believe that they say, but I'm kind of okay with that somehow. I was just okay with suspending my disbelief for that. The characters were also super compelling. Charlie and Amy are like just very boy next door, very girl next door, which made them totally believable, you know, as characters. Like, it seemed like they could be your neighbors. To my understanding, that was part of the point of this movie, like keeping the characters very realistic, setting it in suburbia, like making it feel more realistic and not setting it like in Transylvania in some faraway castle where you can kind of detach yourself from the scariness. Like, oh, well, I mean, these are scary vampires, but they're all the way in Eastern Europe somewhere, so they're not scary. But no, they like set it in suburbia, which is like, maybe my next door neighbor is a vampire, I don't know. So I thought the characters were casted really well, especially Evil Ed, who is just like completely off the wall, like the entire time. Pre-vampire transformation, post-vampire transformation, like he's a kooky fella, let me tell you. But he also gets so many great lines.
Oh, you're so cool, Brewster. I can't stand it.
Peter Vincent was also a great character, obviously named for Peter Cushing and Vincent Price. I loved how at the point in the movie, like where he realizes that vampires exist, when he fails to see Jerry Dandridge in his mirror, he goes through that phase where it's like his whole world has been turned upside down because his whole career has been built on him playing this character that defeats vampires, but obviously it's all movies, it's all fake. He doesn't actually believe vampires exist. But then it's like, so he goes through that stage where he's like in disbelief, hiding from everybody because he's like, oh my gosh, what else is out there? You know, if vampires actually exist. It's almost like he realizes like, well, I've been doing this for my career my whole life. I think I got this. And he just like uses everything that was once fake for his career to help defeat the vampires, which was kind of awesome. I feel like he would be like any one of us. Like if we realized, you know, if we found out that vampires and werewolves are real, like we would probably have like a shit our pants moment where it's like, oh my gosh, this has been fake. I've been watching these fake movies for so long, I can't believe this is real. But then it's like, wait, I've watched so many movies, like I got this. And we would just know what to do from our experiences and that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I liked that. This movie was just like a great example of the perfect balance between horror and comedy, at least for me. Like, it's part of why I love Scream so much, and now I can add Fright Night to this list. It manages both to be lighthearted and kind of kooky and fun, but also delivers the frights. So, was Fright Night worth it? Duh. This whole video, y'all were probably just eye rolling the whole time because I know it's a very well-loved classic and this is probably just a completely redundant video, but I had never seen it, so you know, I want to spread the love. I've been enlightened. Now I've seen Fright Night. Really, really liked it. I'm glad I finally watched it now, but also I'm kicking myself like, why didn't you watch it sooner, Vicky? So yeah, I think definitely I'm gonna be adding this to one of my all-time favorite movies as well. I don't know, it just got me. I really like this movie. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. I loved it. On IMDb, it has a 7.1 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 91% critic score and a 76% audience score. And on Letterboxd, it has a 3.6 out of 5. So if you've seen Fright Night, which I'm sure this is gonna be like all of you in the comments, let me know what you thought about it. If you haven't seen it and you wanna rent it, there is an affiliate link to rent the movie on Amazon in the description. There's no pressure to use that link, but if you do, it does help out the channel a little bit. I do hope you enjoyed this video, though. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday, and you can ring that notification bell down there to be notified every time I post a video, even though it totally doesn't work sometimes. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!